Hello everybody, my name is Brooklyn, otherwise known as TheDramaticOtaku, and today we'll be doing a quick and simple scars, scratches and bruises makeup tutorial for cosplay. Over the Supernova weekend, I was asked a fair bit on how I did my scars for Goodtimesscar, and in the past I've been asked how I do my Tomie scratches / wounds. And so today, I'm here to reveal my secrets and tell you guys how I make scars and scratches without liquid latex or prosthetics, only using body paint and eyeshadow, and maybe some fake blood for fun. Before we begin, I have a couple of disclaimers. One, this is a beginner tutorial from someone who is maybe just intermediate with this method of SFX makeup, and I have a very just go along with it approach to this type of makeup. Lots of trial and erroring with different color combos to get the desired colors that I want and blending them together. So when I state what colors I use for the eyeshadows and paints, take it with a grain of salt as to how much and how to do it. And 3, if you're just here for the scratches and scars, I also suggest watching the bruises section, as it will give you a decent understanding of how to blend the colors I mentioned in this video. So the tools for this tutorial, for all of these tutorials, is moisturizer to create a barrier between your skin and body paint. This is required. You need some form of moisturizer, especially if you're using body paint. Second is a powder / powder foundation just to mattify your skin. Then is a variety of makeup brushes, both precision and fluffy. You want a mixture of both of them. Next is an eyeshadow palette with at least purple, brown, red, orange and yellow. These are the colors that I use, but they may look different on you. And then finally is body paint in the colors red, white, yellow, black, or preferably dark brown. Personally, I use BYS Cosmetics because they are very waxy in nature. You can use a variety of them, and BYS usually has these color wheels full of the body paint. I would highly recommend it. And then the last thing is optional, fake blood. So let's just get into it with section 1, bruises. Admittedly, there aren't really steps on how to do things other than moisturize, apply powder, foundation, or finishing powder to the area that you are putting the bruises on, and apply your pigment, making sure to blend out each color. Depending on the healing of your bruise depends on the colors. Think about the times you've gotten bruises and use that as a reference. For me, the more healed a bruise is, the more yellow it tends to be. So I start my base with yellow and green, creating an impact spot with the green. With most bruises, there is a lot of variation in color, so I layer it with reds, browns, and go over all of it again with yellow, blending between each layer. As while bruises can appear as a spot on your body, they're never a perfect straight cut circle. That's why I blend between layers to distort them. After I'm done with the undercolors of the yellows, reds and browns, I add a bit of purple to darken the entire area, focusing on the impact spot as if I've just been punched in that area. It's important to know how to do bruises, as some wounds and scratches have bruising around it, and it gives you a little bit of help in the color selection that seems like this bruise or scrape is naturally happening on yourself. Scratches. The infinitely easy way to do it would be getting 2 angular brushes, red body paint, black body paint, and 1 fluffy brush. Use one of the angular brushes to make scars across your face or wherever you want in the red body paint. Then use a fluffy brush and blend it out to make it look really red. Then using black, and this is where I mean preferably brown, because when I did this, I preferably wanted brown. Add depth to your scars. This, for me, only really works if you're doing like horror characters with filters, because you can do a lot of scratches really quickly. If I'm doing something that looks a little more gory, then I'll do what I am about to describe. So step 1, once again, you powder and moisturize, or moisturize and powder should I say. Step 2, using a small brush, make a guide in red or pink eyeshadow so you know where the scar will go and blend it out a little bit. Step 3, apply red body paint and lightly blend it out. We want this area to look irritated, otherwise it will look really fake and like you've just stamped on a bit of paint. From there, it's a similar process to bruising, using a combination of paint and eyeshadow to deepen or highlight the areas around the scratches, finishing up with some black, preferably brown, but I don't have any, body paints in the pigmentation of the scratch itself to add depth and make it look like something has been ripped out of your skin, or to add an entry point to the scratch. And this is what it will look like with just the paint and eyeshadow. If you really want to, add some fake blood for the drama and to also cover up some mistakes. The most important thing with scratches is that they aren't perfect or even. Just because you want them to appear like they have happened by accident or potentially on purpose by an assailant. Scars. So I'm using some of the footage from my Good Times with Star Get Ready With Me, and this is because when actually filming the tutorial I went a little heavy-handed with the makeup, and the whole reason I'm not just keeping in the scar tutorial is because the actual camera I used was my front-facing camera and I didn't have the best lighting, so the makeup kind of just blends into my skin in this footage. Anyway, getting into it. In a similar method to the scratches, step 1, moisturizing powder. Step 2, using a small brush, make a guide using red or pink eyeshadow to know where your scar will go and blend it out a bit. Step 3, use a yellow, orange or a light pink to buff out that area that you want to put your scar on. Step 4, go over the top in white paints in the shape of your preferred scar. And step 5, adjust to your liking. That is literally how I made the scars, going in and just adjusting it with eyeshadow and highlighting certain areas of the scar. Try not to be too heavy-handed as I was, as some scars tend to be a lot lighter. Also, I tend to use white as that is how scars appear on my body. That last thing is probably the most important. If you want the SFX to be lifelike, use yourself as a reference and experiment always. You aren't going to be perfect on the first try. I use bruises that I get because I'm very accident prone as a reference for bruise coloring. For scratches, I tend to freehand without a reference because I just want it to be gory and gaudy. And for scars, I have the perfect reference on my hand that I can look at and double check. Thank you, Winter. That being said, don't hurt yourself for references and don't hurt yourself for cosplay. Just pay attention to yourself and your body, and I guarantee it will be effective. Your color palette will not 100% be the same as mine. That is the point of this little rant, and that is all of my tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as you can, and I really hope you guys were able to take away something from this. I'm not the best at making tutorials, but I figured it was worth a shot, especially since when I'm doing scratches, scars and bruises, I just tend to wing it, so trying to put it into words was very difficult. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye!